Welcome to Tuttle Talk, a part of the Real Estate Radio Network. And now, live in studio, offering you a fresh perspective. He's your local real estate and finance expert. He's part of the Common Sense Party, and he's committed to teaching you how to win in any market. Your host, Andy Tuttle.
Good afternoon and welcome to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network, where we teach you what the rich and the banks do, not what they tell you to do, and where we dispel the misconceptions of financial wellness and the local real estate market and show you how following a few key principles really can free you up to focus on the other important areas of your life, like your friends, your family, and the community. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, you can reach out to me during or after the show, 214-736-9696. 214-736-9696. You can also email me at questions@andytuttle.com. So if you want to reach out to us, maybe one of our expert contributors has something that means something to you and you know you need to act and take action on something, you want to call us about that, reach out at those numbers. You can also get to us through our fan page, and you can get into the conversation at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. And that is a great place to really find out more about us, find out more about the show, and really just talk to other people in your community and to us about what's going on in real estate, the tips we give you about finance and what's happening in your life, and some success tips too, because you got to get your mind right about what you're going after to really understand what opportunities are out there and how to take advantage of them. And so we want to make sure to help you do that every day, and you can find out more there, facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. Don't forget, guys, big contest this month. Huge contest. Station celebration. And here's how it works. If you're already on Facebook, you already know that every day, really, at different times of the day, we're going to post a station celebration promotion. So every time you click on that promotion, you like it and you share it. So you have to like the fan page first, obviously, and then you share that post. You're entered into a raffle. Got a lot of great prizes. I know John Allen really wants this one, the iPad mini. He's such a tech guru. Not really. Poor guy wouldn't know what to do with it. And then the iPad mini we're giving away Rangers tickets with all you can eat. And I think all you can drink. I'm not sure about that. We'll find out. It is all you can eat, all you can drink. Rangers tickets. It's a great deal. And also a couple of $50 gift certificates to restaurant.com. So wherever you're at, you can go to the restaurant of your choice. That is a great opportunity. It ends this couple days, 2 days. So you better make sure that you get on there. And you can also, if you want to, now get out your phones. Get out your little smartphones you have and dial 72727. So I will wait. Okay, you got it? Dial 72727 and text the word Celebrate 660. All one word, Celebrate 660. And you can also get entered into the contest that way. So good luck. I hope you have a lot of fun with that. I also hope you stay tuned this hour because we got a lot of great stuff coming up for you. We're going to get to, in our next segment, Ask Mr. Credit. We're going to really show you the 5 key components of your credit report and how you absolutely can get the best score possible so you can have the lowest borrowing costs. And we're going to get with our special guest today, Nick Good. He is one of the top agents in the state. He has a fantastic team over at Keller Williams Realty and a team that has done a lot of great things in the community. We're going to talk about what his view is on the market right now and share some tips, because that's one of the points of this show on now that we've changed from a buyer's to a seller market. How do you align with that? What do you need to do to make sure you're getting the best deal out there and to make sure you're aligned to take care of the opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities in the marketplace? I'm joined here by our good friend Matt Aycock of Pratt Aycock and Associates. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks again for having me, Andy.
Hey, you bet. He is a estate planner extraordinaire, also does a lot of business formation law, and you hear about him and you've heard him a lot on the show. He'll be with us here just about every week that I can squeeze him in for a few minutes of his very, very busy schedule. Also here, John Allen, Texas Community Insurance owner. How you doing, John?
Fine, sir. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Guys, I vet out, and I've done a lot of work in vetting out people like Matt and John to make sure that I've done the heavy lifting for you. That's the whole reason they're on this show, is because there's so much misinformation, so much disinformation out there. You got to know that your financial team is critically important. Any of you that listen to Dave Ramsey, I know we have a lot of those listeners on this show, you understand that. And so if you're not familiar with it, it is critical that you have these people aligned. And it's hard to find good people. I know, because I've used them myself, and it took me forever and years to find them. And now I literally work with and have my clients and friends and family work with all these people. So you can trust them. And the reason I bring them on this show is so that we can dispel those misconceptions. You can get out of the talking head junk and find out what's really going on. I want to bring you the balanced truths every week, and we're going to do no different this week. And that's why I want to get right into talking about something extremely important, Duck Dynasty. Okay, not really, but I could talk about that all day. We stumbled upon that stinking show.
Oh, you got me excited for a second there, Andy. I was really planning to jump into that.
It's because that show is awesome.
Definitely.
I can't believe I was like, I'm not going to watch some Duck Dynasty stupid guys, and then we caught like 5 minutes of a show.
You're hooked.
Dude, totally hooked, man. Those little rednecks. You got to go check out that show. But, Matt, much to your chagrin, we won't talk about that anymore today. We want to talk about a couple of things about how to build your foundation. So, Matt, I know that most people, and you understand this because you help people with business formation with their wills and trusts. Those are some wills and trusts are foundational piece. And, you don't go building a house without building your foundation. Right? And you don't go play a sport you don't play a sport well without understanding the blocking and tackling, the fundamentals of the game. And I find that most people don't understand the fundamentals of the game. And what I mean by that is only 5% of the people in America have a will or a trust in their life. And I harp on that every week. Why do you think that is?
People have a difficult time with understanding that life is finite. You don't live forever, and a lot of people don't want to take into account that there is going to be a point in time where they will pass on, and that's a very difficult thing to grasp, and so psychologically, I believe that a lot of people just have difficulties with accepting that. So what we try to do is, first of all, educate people on what happens, should they die. But estate planning is so much more than just doing just a will. It's not only about when you die. I mean, you can look at estate planning for a lot of other objectives, such as, caring for your children. The healthcare designation is a very popular thing for children, medical power of attorney. Let's say you have a job that requires you to travel a lot, or you're in the military. You're going to use a power of attorney, and then it's going to leave your spouse in control of things while you're gone. So estate planning is not just what happens when you die, but you certainly need to take that into account. Most people do have life insurance, but they don't realize that that's simply not enough to take care of your family's needs.
And there's a lot of things besides wills and trusts that help take care of your family needs, especially if you're an elderly person. And I know there are some things that have gone through legislation that are up for it right now, I guess, that have to deal with that, and something called SJR 18, right? What is that exactly, and what implications does that have?
Well, one of the things that, all the 50 states have right now is they have a reverse mortgage product, which this is a product that allows elderly people to use equity within their home to kind of pay for the increase in the cost of living, healthcare expenses, and things of that nature, without having to sell their home or have to worry about making increased payments on a loan because their income's fixed. Essentially, with a reverse mortgage, you can get a monthly payment that's paid to you from the bank. You can get a lump sum. There's a lot of other ways you can structure it. But one of the things that the other 49 states have had for quite some time, but Texas is not, is the ability to purchase a home using a reverse mortgage. And that's what this bill does. It's allowing our citizens to vote on a constitutional amendment that will allow the elderly to purchase a home using a reverse mortgage. This comes into play when we do retirement size planning for an individual, where they're trying to migrate from too big of a home to a much smaller, more reasonably sized home. And instead of tying up the funds, the profit from the sale of that home, we can instead use a reverse mortgage and then pass those profits from the sale of their larger home tax-free into some sort of annuity or other account to further support their income needs. So
basically, real short, because we're about to go to break, it is you see it as a helpful a benefit to have this go through.
It's another tool that you can use whenever it's appropriate, and I think having as many tools as you can available to you to better plan for your retirement, you need to have those, and that's what it's there for. It's not ideal for everyone, but it's certainly something they need to have access to.
Well, I want to come back to that in the last segment of our show, maybe when we get Nick's opinion on that as well and kind of talk about that. You're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Coming up, we're going to get into your favorite game, at least my favorite game, Deal or No Deal, with our very own Mr. Credit. He's also going to give you those 5 key components you must know to have the top possible score and get the lowest possible borrowing cost. So unless you have an 850 credit score, stay tuned. Welcome back, Dallas. You are listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Remember, you can listen to us on your 660 AM app, and that's good for your iPhone or your Android. You can also reach us, 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696, or on Facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. And remember, we're doing the big celebration. You can go to the fan page to find out about it, or you can text Celebrate 660, all one word, Celebrate 660 to the number 72727. That's 72727 to get entered into all of the great prizes. So you definitely want to do that. Coming up right now is our very own Mr. Credit, Justin Nichols of the Nichols Law Firm. He is a credit ninja. Really. Actually, I prefer Credit Samurai because those seem to me that they were the better, more honorable ones. So you're like the Credit Samurai. Justin, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Good. So I've been teasing up that, and the truth is that credit, just everything really, as far as borrowing money, which has so much to do with our society, we're a consumerist society, you got to have good credit. And people still don't know the fundamental tips that they can do on their own to really make sure that that score gets the highest, that it's its highest possible before they really go look to borrow anything, from a credit card to a car to a mortgage. And so I'd like you to share with us a little bit about what the core 5 components are and how our audience can really use this knowledge to improve their score.
Sure, Andy, and I'll list them from the most important down to the least important, although when you're talking about credit, they're all really important. The first is your payment history. That's do you pay your bills on time? The second one is the amounts owed. How much credit have you been extended, and how much of that credit are you using? The third is the age of your credit history. Are you young and just out of school, or have you had credit for a long time, and have you had some experience with long-term accounts, or are all your accounts new? The fourth is new credit, and that includes inquiries, how frequently you're applying for credit. And the fifth and last is the types of credit. So someone who may have credit cards, student loans, car loans, mortgages, those types of things affect what types of credit you're able to handle, and those in turn affect your score.
So what should the average person do if, let's talk about the types of credit. You know, people have a lot of credit cards. Maybe they have 5, 6 credit cards. They have retail cards. What are some practical things that they can do to either move money around or cancel those? Because a lot of people go, well, I'll just pay it off and then close it. What should they be mindful of when they're trying to improve their credit, pay off debt, and want to make sure that it affects their score in the best way?
Well, remember that when you have a bunch of credit cards and you close them, that decreases the total amount of credit that you've extended. So your percentage of debt-to-credit ratio may artificially increase, although you've been paying your bills down for some time. So you have to be careful. I always recommend that people, in fact, do pay their bills down or their credit card debt down as low as they can, but leave those credit cards open unless there's bad payment history or some overreaching reason to close a credit card account. The value of having a older credit card that has good payment history, even if there's not a large balance, is much better than having fewer credit card accounts, in my opinion.
That is very good advice. So just remember, so you can hear this, guys. You know, a lot of people, they come to me, they've paid $5,000 down to a card, and they're like, wait, my credit score was a 680. It was a 700. Why is it a 660 right now? It's because you closed out that account. It had a $10,000 credit limit. You paid $5,000 or $7,000 of it off, and now you've got less credit. That's what you're saying, right? You can actually do good for yourself financially and actually hurt yourself as far as interest rates on future borrowing costs because now you just dropped your score.
That's right. I mean, obviously, if you have $10,000 worth of credit cards available and you're not using them, that shows potential lenders or creditors that you have the discipline to have a credit available and not overextend yourself.
Right. That is correct. So you want to keep those open, put them in a shoebox or something, or I think you even say it's good to spend a little bit of money on them every month to keep them kind of active. Is that helpful?
Sure. One of the big things is you can use it once or twice a month and set them up on auto bill pay so that you're not having to shuffle a bunch of paperwork around. But don't hesitate to put a tank of gas on it once a month to keep them active. A lot of times if you leave them inactive, they'll close them automatically. But set them up on auto bill pay. Use them once or twice a month for very small purchases. Keep the account open and take advantage of that, the credit limit without using the credit that's been extended to you.
Okay, Justin, that's very, very helpful information. Now, guys, we're going to have Justin back a lot. He is an expert contributor on this show, and I want you to know that sometimes, I know this and Justin knows this, that you get into situations where it's a little bit rougher than that. Maybe you've got some collections on there in the past. Maybe you've got some judgments that you've been fighting, or there have just been some things on your credit that have been haunting you for months, weeks, months, or years. There are ways to get those handled. You can do it on your own, but I got to tell you, it is an absolute nightmare. Justin has got a great program. He does this for our listeners that you don't get charged unless you see results. So if that's you and you want to have a consultation about that and talk to someone about your credit and how to improve that because there's just too many things to handle, or maybe it's just one thing that's been haunting you, this is what you do. You pick up the phone, you call 214-736-9696, and I will connect you with Justin and his team, and they will walk you through the process and take care of you. And again, there's no charge unless you see results, guys. They don't do this monthly subscription crap out there that just gets you no results and just takes money out of your pocket. It's a great system. 214-736-9696. We want to see that happen, and I know Justin will take care of you. He's taking care of me, a lot of our clients, and many of our employees, because it happens. Things happen to all of us, guys, so he's there to help you with that. Okay, Justin, I got to have you stick around here. Are you ready to play the game?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to play your favorite game. Here it is, Deal or No Deal. Justin, Mr. Credit Nichols, is refinancing his primary residence. Now, Justin, remember, I'm going to read this to you. You tell me if you think it's a deal or not.
Okay.
So, Justin, Mr. Credit Nichols, is refinancing his primary residence. He is financing with an FHA Streamline loan and has applied as a non-credit qualifying. What the crap does that mean? It means that an FHA Streamline, you're not having to typically claim any income, any assets. You just go in there and you get it done because you're in a current FHA loan, and now you can refinance that with really in this situation, he's applied as a non-credit qualifying. So you don't look at your credit, you're looking at nothing. His wife is currently on the loan, though. And Justin does not want her on this new application. So Justin has documented that he's paid the mortgage himself for the last 2 years with no assistance from his spouse. Is this a deal, delete the spouse, or a no deal, cannot delete the spouse?
Well, I'm going to say no deal.
Man, you are good. Ding, ding, ding. You got that right. No deal on an FHA loan. An existing borrower cannot be deleted with the non-credit qualifying option, even if they document that they have made the payments without assistance from the spouse being removed. So if you're in a situation where you're like, really, I want to get this loan in my name only, and you're in an FHA loan currently, just know you're going to have to requalify with everything if you want to take the spouse off the loan. Otherwise, you're going to have to qualify and work it out. Justin, thank you so much for playing our game.
You're welcome.
You're a great sport, man. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Now I want to get into the Word on Wealth segment with my good friend John Allen, and we're going to talk a little bit about insurance and how I know it's impacted you lately, John, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like living the life once in a great while, right?
Yeah. So what's happened, and how does that affect us?
All right. So my wife goes to take the trash out the other day. Goes to open the garage door's bashed in. She says, what's going on? What happened?
Did you get mad?
Well, I didn't. She was. Anyways, she calls up. She says, what do I do? She'd gone outside. She found some lady from another neighborhood, had been to the doctor, taken some new medications, was lost, disoriented, ran into our house. How does that happen? I don't know. But anyway, long and the short is she gets the information from the lady, calls the police. Police report is filed. Police show up, file the police report. So I call in the claim. It takes about half an hour maybe to file the claim. They say, we would like you to send in the receipts, get the estimate, we'll approve that. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds kind of strange. So the following day, I sent the receipts in, didn't hear anything for 2 days, finally called back. At this point, I've got almost 4 hours into this, between going to the house and doing all the other stuff. what they said is, well, we're handling this as a property claim. We're going to depreciate the garage door because it's 10 years old, and we're going to pay you the net of the depreciation. She said, okay. I said, no, absolutely not okay. I had to escalate it 2 levels to get to somebody in the auto group that says, okay, we'll process it as an auto liability claim. And at least twice along the way, I heard the following statement. Well, if you don't like our settlement, you can always subrogate. You know what subrogation means?
I do. So that basically, that's the insurance company fighting on your behalf to the other insurance company.
In other words, in simple English, it says that I file with my own insurance company, and then they turn around and they fight the other insurance company for me. Now, there's 2 problems with that. First off, if my expense is not at least my deductible, my insurance company isn't going to fight that. That garage door does not come to my homeowner's deductible. And what's the second problem with putting a non-weather claim on your homeowner's property?
Jacks up the rates.
Right? Do I have a claim on my file even if I don't end up getting paid out? I do, right? So now I would have had no compensation, and now I've got 5 years of loss history that I didn't even create.
And that's just the standard practice at the company, the other person's insurance company.
The other person's insurance company. I don't know if it's standard practice with everybody. I've never heard of our carriers doing that, but I know there are carriers out there that do that. It would stun you to know who the carrier is. I'm not going to say who it is, but it would blow you away. They're a pretty big company. But so after escalating it, I finally got to somebody who said, yeah, you're right. It's our liability issue. We should take care of it. We got paid. But I went through a lot of time, and that really just illustrates the message. You got to know what you're doing. How many, if you put 100 people in the room that didn't know any better, how many would have gotten the answer right? 5 maybe? Maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt even that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so you think about it, and what does it do? It sets you up, and then you're upset because the insurance industry is going up, and the costs are going up. You have no control.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have any. And if you, that is hilarious. I mean, you're an insurance guy.
It's a great story, right? And I know better.
It's the only reason you even got this. Like, no, this is not how this should work. Yeah. But I wouldn't have got that right. And that goes back to why you got to have a good insurance agent, guys. You got to have someone, if you can, that's an independent, like John, who owns a company. He can go to different carriers for you. And it goes. That's why you have my insurance, dude, because I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the time there. And to have someone in your corner that can fight that battle for you is so critical. And to make sure you're set up right. So you got to do that. That's why we have John on the show. Thanks. That's a hilarious story, man. I'm sorry to hear that happen to you, but great for radio. You're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Coming up, Nick Good of the Good Home team is here with us today. He's just a fantastic agent. He's going to have a lot of insight for you about what's going on in the marketplace. And, of course, we're going to get to our Real Steal of the Week and Coach's Corner. All that next. Welcome back, Dallas. You are listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network every Sunday, 3 p.m. here on 660 AM The Answer. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Don't forget, you can listen to us on the 660 AM app. You can catch all shows at andytuttle.com, and you can reach out to us with your questions, comments, concerns. 214-736-9696. 214-736-9696. You can also email me questions at andytuttle.com. We'll connect you with the professional that can help, whether that's Matt Aycock for an estate plan or a business formation, wills, trusts. If you're looking into retirement sizing, that kind of thing, he can help you if you need, just to make sure you get the right insurance coverage at great competitive rates. That's John Allen. We have so many here to help you all around that we want to take care of you. That's what I want to do for you. That's why I'm here every week. I'm going to get to Nick Good here, and he is a fantastic agent. He's been in this for 8 years. He's done remarkable work in that 8 years, more than most agents that have been in here 25, 30 years or more. He's got a great team, and he's going to share some insight on what's going on in the marketplace, and as a part of this show, give you the tips on if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, if you're looking to do it, what are some tips that you need to know that are relevant and matter right now, today, not 5 years ago, not even 6 months ago, but what is appropriate today. But first, I got to get to the headlines. A couple of headlines I think are important for you to know. If you're a veteran and you're in a home and you're upside down in that home, in the last 6 months or so, there's been some restrictions imposed on you where even if you're in a VA loan now, you've got to get another appraisal where you used to not have to. Well, now you can be upside down and still have a chance to get a new VA loan without having to credit qualify and save money on that. So in other words, let's say you owe $200,000 on your home, but your home is only worth $180,000, $185,000. You can still look at restructuring your financing and getting that loan. That's a big deal. So if you owe more than your home is worth and you want to check that out and you're a veteran, or you actually still, for you guys that are in the Fannie Mae loans, the HARP program, you can be upside down on that home as well and still save money, get loan rates in the 3% range. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the time. You got to look at calling 214 736-9696. Free call, free consultation, free copy of your credit report with tips on how to improve it, and an analysis that'll show you your freedom point and make sure that you know your savings opportunity and how much money that can save you over time. So call us 214-736-9696, and we'll get someone to take care of you. Mr. Nick Good, welcome to Tuttle Talk, man.
Thanks for having me.
You bet, my pleasure. You've been waiting there, chomping at the bit, just trying to kick Matt out of the way to get some room in this studio so you could get on the mic because he was just yapping. And now you're finally on the show, and I'm so happy for you to be here. You've been in the game here you've been at the game for 8 years, right?
Correct.
So how did you get started?
So I was in college. There was an ad for a real estate assistant position, and I said, that seems easy. In college, paid well. Went ahead and did that, saw how much money they were making at that time, said I could do that, run a better system, and, took the job. And then after I graduated college, I started full-time as an assistant or as a full-time agent and stayed with them for a little while and then went over to Keller Williams in 2007.
So you've had some remarkable success at Keller Williams, which is a great company, and you've built a little bit of a team there, correct?
Correct. We have a team of 8. So
it's a big team.
It's myself and my business partner, who is my brother, Austin. We have a full-time admin, a full-time marketing person, as well as 3 buyer specialists. So their sole responsibility is working with buyers to make sure they get in the home that they're looking for.
So from my seat, the reason that seems critical to me is that they're not distracted with the next seller they got to go meet.
Correct.
Is that why you built it that way?
Absolutely. Their sole responsibility is to make sure that they are finding the buyer's home. They're working on their schedule. So if you were to work with me, my schedule fills up really quick. And if we're missing out on a home because I was out on an appointment meeting with a seller, you'd probably be upset with me.
Correct.
So their responsibility is to make sure they get you in that home right away. This market is a changing market. So they also make sure that in 6 months, you're not going to call us yelling at us because we got you into a money pit. So, they help out. They'll get the inspections. They'll help you, go over what are the main items and what they should ask for in repairs and make sure that you're just not overpaying for a house.
That's a big deal right now because we have gone into the seller's market, and I do want to get into that. But first, when you talk about the team and why you created it as a team-oriented, and it is team-oriented, and you've got everybody as a specialist, and you've created this system, and I know you have done that to serve the client better, and you've seen a lot of success there, and I know you've seen it all over DFW, but you're specifically focused really in Collin County, right?
Correct.
So what areas are the hottest right now in Collin County?
Frisco's really hot. Allen and McKinney, and then of course Plano. Plano's been good for a while now.
It has. So what makes those areas? Why do they stand out?
Really, it's the school system is a big one. The infrastructure in terms of what in Allen they just built the shops. You have a ton of shopping, ton of eateries. There's schools and the $60 million stadium in Allen. So that hit the news all over. Highways close to everything. So you can jump onto 75, you can jump on the toll road, jump onto 121. So infrastructure is really big on that.
Yeah, that's true. You have a lot of access in and out of there. That $60 million stadium too. That doesn't just serve Allen, right? That serves, doesn't it? Do some other cities use that? Do we even know? I mean, my goodness, it's so crazy. I don't even know. You could play professional ball in that stadium. Goodness gracious. So buyers in Collin County, and I know it's really everywhere right now, but part of this show is about giving tips to buyers and to sellers on how they can make sure they're making the right decisions based on what the market is doing. And we've seen this market go from a very buyer-friendly market, the low-ball offers accepted and pushing sellers around, to the complete opposite. What's happened, and what does the thinking of the buyer need to change to profit?
So what we're preparing our buyers for right now is a couple of items. One is they may have to go over list price. Doesn't mean they're overpaying. Remember, an appraisal only lasts 6 months, and this market is appreciating. So with that, it doesn't mean you're overpaying for a house. The other items are asking for a higher down payment that makes you a stronger candidate for a buyer because cash is king. So when a homeowner's comparing two of the same offers and one has less money and one has more, a lot of times they will go with the higher down payment because they feel like that's a stronger candidate. Putting down less of an option period. So typically what we see for an option period is where a buyer can terminate at any time is 10 days. Now we're seeing that from anywhere from 4 to 7 days.
So real quick, before you go into that option period, would you describe what an option period is?
An option period it's kind of a due diligence period. That's the best way. You do your inspections. You can negotiate repairs. If the wind blows wrong and you just want to terminate, all you lose is your option money that you had paid for that.
Which is typically what?
Right now, normally it's around $100. Right now, we're seeing that. I'm seeing agents writing $250. Our agents are putting $250 for that.
Okay, but still, which is great in this market. It's smart. So they lose that versus their earnest money, which could be how much more?
Anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000.
So it's a very smart idea. The option is a great option to use if you're a buyer.
Absolutely.
Great. So that's okay. So go ahead.
So for buyers, it's really making it a strong offer for a seller, because sellers right now, they have a lot to choose from. So, and there's not a lot of homes for sale. In Collin County, I believe last time I looked, it was around 1.8 months or 2 months of inventory, which means that if no more homes came on the market, it would take only 2 months to sell everything available. So we're seeing homes getting multiple offers within hours of going on the market. It's a crazy time right now.
I've heard that there's even been multiple offers before it even comes on the market.
We've had a few of those.
So how does that even happen?
Well, what we do, and this is a benefit that we offer our sellers, is we do our pre-marketing. So we'll put the sign out there. We'll go ahead and put some flyers. We'll put our 1-800 call capture number on it and start marketing it to buyers and agents before it goes on. And a lot of times that's where we can get in multiple offer situations. We can drive up price a little bit. A homeowner's happy when they start getting offers before it goes on. We're doing our job right.
You are, and you do your job right all the time in all kinds of areas. Guys, here's the deal. And I say guys and girls. I say it lovingly, both. Gang, if you will. It is so critical that you have, especially in a fast-moving market and a volatile market, because you're not just talking about the home prices now. You're also talking about rates. When can you get that contract? How does it time out with what's going on? You need to be able to be in a position to lock and move quickly. You got to have a team that understands systems. Nick Good is that team. If you're curious about getting into the market and looking to buy, or you have a home that you've thought about putting on the market but maybe have waited and you want to have a conversation with a true professional and a team that can, no matter what's going on, day or night, they can take care of you and have a system to do that, call us 214-736-9696. 214-736-9696. We'll introduce you to Nick. You guys can have a casual conversation about how he can help you. I'd love to do that, and would love to know that Nick can take care of you, and we'll take care of you. When we come back here on Tuttle Talk, we're going to talk a little bit more with Nick about some tips for you sellers out there. So stay with us. Welcome back, Dallas. You're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle, here in the great state of Texas. Remember, you can call us 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696. It's an off-air number. You won't be surprised by coming on air, but you can get your questions answered, and get connected to the professional that you need. Also, don't forget, guys, go to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. Get involved in the conversation and get into the contest. All the information is there on the fan page. You're going to see a little promotion station celebration, and you can enter in there and share it, and you get entered into the raffle for all the great prizes. And also, you can text this number. You can text 72727 right now, 72727, and text the word Celebrate 660, all one word, Celebrate 660, and you can get entered into the raffle as well. Maybe you'll win the iPad Mini or the Rangers tickets with all you can eat, or a couple of gift certificates maybe to restaurant.com. So a lot of opportunities there. Hope you get involved. Nick Good is with us, of the Good Home Team, excellent realtor, out really focusing in Collin County. He's been sharing with us some tips for buyers. Nick, I'd like you to quickly give the audience here some tips for sellers, because we know right now, I know from sellers, and I'm sure you hear it a lot more than me, that think, well, since they're selling like hotcakes, I don't have to do much.
Well, move-in ready homes sell like hotcakes, So, paint's a big one. Curb appeal, another big one. If you're trying to get top dollar and you don't have granite and you're asking $300,000, they're probably going to want granite. So, it's only $2,500 expense. Might as well look into that. And then put away all your clutter. Clutter hides the house. So, everything off the counters, If you need to invest in a stager, we offer that free for us. But if you're going to do it, go ahead and get some staging advice. That's going to be big. It's model homes. New home builders spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on stagers. We can help you with that. So those are the key. And then deferred maintenance. People want to make sure that they're not going to get into a money pit, so that's a big one. Have your roof checked out. Have your hot water and HVAC, heating and air conditioning serviced before going on the market. That way you can present that to the buyer, and then they can understand that, hey, they're probably getting into a good home.
Right. Absolutely. That's a good words of wisdom, because if you don't do that, you're going to be wondering why your house is sitting on the market for 3 months when everything else is selling around you.
Of course.
So we have a very low inventory market right now. We have, it's less than 2 months now. Correct?
Yeah, right about 1.8.
1.8, guys. And then, so if you don't understand what that means, at the slowest point, we had almost 10 months. I think that was the last time I checked, almost 10 months of inventory, which basically means what? If nobody else put their home on the market, it would take about 8 to 10 months to sell. Now, only 2. That actually becomes a legitimate challenge because there's not enough homes on the market for people to buy. Now, there's been speculation that there's shadow inventory on the market, coming to the market, and that's going to be a big glut. Matt, what do you have to say about that?
Well, before I comment on that, I would like to say thanks, on behalf of Brandy Dosser, in our McKinney office. She's one of the attorneys there, and Nick's team did a phenomenal job helping her buy a home a while back and out there in McKinney, and she wanted to make sure I told you guys thank you for that. As far as shadow inventory goes, this is a very, very real phenomenon. I mean, this is inventory that the bank is not putting out on the market because they're not comfortable with the way the market is. If you look at other parts of the country, because we do have mainly a national media, that's what fuels everything. These other parts of the country have a tremendous amount of shadow inventory. When I look at Texas, I see almost none, especially in the DFW area, because only a completely, misinformed property management company would recommend to a lender not to put the home on the market right now, because property, you just cannot keep it. I mean, it's flying off the shelves.
Right, and just so you know, shadow inventory is not inventory that is, it's not a one-story house being hidden by a two-story house and it's in the shade.
Right.
It is homes that are either coming up in short sale or slated to be foreclosed upon, et cetera, that are going to be, that banks are in essence holding on to release to the market. Is that probably the easiest way to say that? Or?
Yeah, and it's other parts of the country where the values are down quite a bit. And when values are down and inventory is high, then you don't want to release your massive amounts of property out there, because
Correct.
You're going to get less than what you could get for it if you waited until the market rebounded. Here, our market's fine. I mean, we just said 1 to 2 months of inventory. There's states that haven't experienced that in a decade.
Right. And, real quick, Nick, how are you guys handling this low inventory challenge?
We're just telling everybody that, if you were to, fast forward a year, we go back in time, you're going to kick yourself if you're wanting to sell and you miss this. This is the time to do it. If you have a crystal ball, your crystal ball says sell now. So we're just telling everybody we can. We're sending out pieces. We're going back to our old clients and saying, hey, if you were trying to sell last year, the year before, 3 years, and your prices were low, now we can get you the price. You're more than likely get you the price that you're looking for. So give it a go, and I bet you we can get your house sold. Quickly, less than 45 days, close to your list price, and then we'll get you into a new home because interest rates are low, so now's the time to upgrade.
It is the time to upgrade. It's a perfect storm, guys. It's still here. You got to take advantage right now. Interest rates are projected to be going up at the end of this year. There's a lot of reasons that they should be going up. So this is the time. We've got low interest rates. Houses are moving. In 6 to 9 months, those houses are going to appreciate because of the competitive bid we're in right now, or the environment that we're in right now. It's going to force a little higher appreciation than average. So now is the time. Get involved. Get in the game. Get with Nick Good. You can call us 214-736-9696. We will connect you to him and his team, and he can help you sell that home, or he can help you get into buying a new one. And he's also going to put on the fan page for us his real steal of the week, a listing he's got right now that you got to go see. He's going to put that on the fan page for us. Nick, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. And now it's time to get to Coach's Corner with our very own Coach Jimmy. You may recognize my next guest as a featured cast member in the Insanity Workout DVDs, which is pretty exciting. And we are always honored to have our good friend here. He's a big Insanity Beachbody Master Trainer Coach, something like that. And he is here on the show with me every week. I can never remember that title, Jimmy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, you got it covered, man. It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, it's great, man. I appreciate all your insight. We were talking about physical fitness here. We always talk about financial fitness, how to take advantage of opportunities, but this is such a key component in our lives. I want to know, though, how is DIG going?
DIG, the Dallas Insanity Group, it's going very well because I think a lot of people are realizing that whether or not they get moving, summer is on its way pretty quick. And it's amazing how that's lighting a fire under a lot of people to get moving because they know, summer's around the corner and they want to do something to look good, in that bathing suit. And so we have people at Clyde Warren Park in downtown Dallas joining us at 5:30 on Tuesdays for a live Insanity workout that I personally teach. And what's been so cool, Andy, is that we have people of all fitness levels. People may think Insanity, there's no way I can jump into that. But I had two ladies that came last week that told me they had not worked out in over 5 years, came to class, followed the modifications that I taught for some of the moves, and got a fantastic workout in and really had a great time. So I'm excited to see more and more people coming out to Clyde Warren Park on Tuesdays at 5:30.
And that's free, man, right? You just go out there and work out.
Absolutely free. Bring a friend, bring water and a towel, and that's all you need. No other equipment, and we'll take care of you.
Man, I know you will, gee whiz. And Coach Jimmy will work you out, so get ready. And those workouts are awesome, but you can go at your own pace, do it, take advantage of it, and then follow up with Coach Jimmy because he's got a great page. It's just called Coach Jimmy. You got like 12,000, 13,000 fans there now. I mean, my goodness, how many you got?
There's a few people over there at the Coach Jimmy Facebook page. Hey, I have a question for you. So we're, 3 days away from the end of you and your office's 90-day fitness challenge. How is everyone at the office doing?
Yeah, but actually, you know what? I think as a group, we've lost almost 92 pounds total. Woo! We got a couple of big ones in there carrying it, though. We got a couple of big winners, if you will. A competition is stiff at the top, and we are very excited about getting our new fitness test on next week. So thanks for asking that, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being on the show and giving all those great tips. Go see Coach Jimmy, Clyde Warren Park, Tuesday, 5:30, and get your workout on. Thanks so much, Coach Jimmy.
Take care.
Hope you have enjoyed this show, guys. You're listening to Tuttle Talk, and we are out of time yet again. Don't forget to go get your boots on, bootcampaign.com. Support the troops. Post the pictures when you get your boots on to the fan page at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk and wear them the first Friday of every month with us as we support the troops. Also, go to yourmortgagereview.com to get go ahead and fill out a little form there. Find out if it's a good idea to reorganize your financing. Again, free consultation, free copy of your credit report, and a free total cost analysis. So, thank you so much to Matt Aycock, John Allen, our special guest today, Nick Good, and Coach Jimmy. I'd also like to thank Dan Bradford, our production director. That's it for today. This is Andy Tuttle for the Real Estate Radio Network. Remember, go to the fan page, facebook.com/Tuttle Talk, or call us 214-736-9696. We will connect you with the professional that can help. Thanks for listening to Tuttle Talk, where we're making financial intelligence a priority in the community. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to Tuttle Talk on 660 AM The Answer. You can reach Andy at 214-736-9696. That's 214-736-9696. Or email him, questions@andytuttle.com. Don't forget to become a fan of his show by going to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. You can also catch previous shows by going to andytuttle.com.